Welcome back today. Today we're spreading lime again. So my dad is in the shop right there. He is doing some other work real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the spreader out here since I am well supervised. I'm gonna put 2 buckets of lime in the spreader with the excavator. Definitely one of the hardest things about being a YouTuber is the luggage you have to carry around. Especially when we have older equipment with smaller cabs and we're wearing all this stuff to try to stay warm. It's just a little difficult sometimes. But I ain't complaining. Didn't make it. Oh no. And we're back again. Look, there's a new pile of lime right there. I think that's roughly 50 tons of lime right there. And here at Zach's, this is Zach's and it's a 50-acre farm. And I'm sorry, I have the flu and I'm as sick as you can be. So it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon right now and this is the first time I've been outside. My dad's been spreading lime all day today. And I'm going to hand the camera off to him and I'm going to fly the drone for you guys and I'm going back to lay down. But he's spreading lime with the tractor and spreader. He's got the backhoe here loading it himself. We are putting down 1 ton an acre. And as you can see here where we've tilled it, where we ran the ripper across. So the main reason for running the ripper this year on all of our bottom ground is we're trying to make sure we keep compaction at a minimum, or as much as we can at least. And we want, this ground's really wet, so we want it to dry out in the spring faster. And with doing tillage like this, it gets all that residue under the dirt. And corn stalks are really, I don't know what the right word, they act as like a blanket, but they trap coldness. They don't let the sun in the springtime get through down to the ground because the corn stalks are making a mat pretty much and it's blocking it. So with this, that gets that mat gone. And as you can see, it's really rough. Like, look at this stuff. It's all frozen chunks of dirt. Well, it's not frozen, but it's definitely rough because it's a chisel plow. So in the springtime, like in March, when it's still cold outside and the ground's still hard and it's nowhere near planting time, we're gonna take a disc and disc all this, so that way it'll help it dry out too again. How's it going? Slow and rough. Is it very bad on the tillage part?
As you're going straight.
When you're turning, it's not that fun.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
Not working.
Just wait. But it's not that much. And this thing stays so wet, if it had rained, we would have never got it tilled up. And I do think it's going to help because the top is dried out. The bottom underneath is still a little damp, but you know, I think we run a disc over it in the spring, it's going to be a whole lot better planting seed bed than what it was this year. So I think that's still a good move to do that.
And this spreader, we're doing 1 ton an acre obviously, and this spreader, it's spreading about 30 feet wide. And for the ones you've never operated a spreader or worked with a spreader like this, basically you got like your spreader bed, and it's just basically put on a trailer frame. So lime is extremely heavy, and so when you make sharp turns with that, you really got to watch, because those tires flex in and out like a trailer tires would. And we've actually snapped one of those tires off before from turning too sharp too much.
I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have, chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that we do not have, all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have, chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that we do not have, Yesterday we could be ourselves, didn't have much but nevertheless we were true to each other. But now we don't even bother. I remember you being hopeful, but the tall waves have worn us down, and slowly we are drowning. That's why you need to come with me, with me, with me. Turn around 180 degrees and cross the sea. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home.
So my dad said on the chicken litter, like you saw, we filled that thing completely full, and we had as much litter in there as you could get in there. Where on the lime, we're only putting 10 backhoe buckets in there. So you can see the sort of difference there is because with 10 backhoe buckets, that's the same amount of weight as what would probably be a full thing of litter.
Just come running by.
So yesterday my dad ended up finishing spreading lime, which means we are 100% done in the field for this year. So that is a major relief off our shoulders. We may end up doing some custom work for one of our neighbor farms to help him get done. But right now we got the backhoe out here, and see, this right here is a ditch that runs up through our farm, because there right behind those trees is our farm named Zach's. And by the way, I still feel terrible, so I may need a minute here to get my breath again. But anyways, so as you can see, this ditch is full of water, and that's because of that beaver dam right there. So right now, my dad is on the backhoe, and he's gonna try to take that beaver dam out right there. And I'm just pretty much here supervising him in case something happens. And the backhoe decides to, boom. You guys can't tell, but he's at a pretty good angle right here. I don't think the camera picks it up, but it is pretty steep. So that right there is called a stabilizer. And for the ones of you that are not familiar with equipment like this, a backhoe is not built like an excavator. The frame ain't built wide enough or heavy enough, because you can see how the hoe is way on the side and the backhoe is in the center there. So that backhoe, when you don't have those stabilizers down and you're using that hoe, it makes it really tippy. So what I was showing you is the stabilizer on the high side is actually coming off the ground where he's at an angle, and then he's reaching over across that angle, and it's making that stabilizer come off the ground. And I'll show you the other one there is sunk in the ground where it's having all that weight on it. And just like that, it's all flowing again. The Beavers will probably come back and rebuild that tonight, and all this work will be for nothing, but it's flowing now at least.